You're listening to Illuminate, our Hands at Work Advent series on the Meanwhile in Africa podcast channel. Naomi is old enough to remember the fear and chaos. It seems so long ago now. She'd rather not talk about it. Soldiers, guns, and hunger everywhere. Dusty green uniform with so many pockets. What do they have that they put in all those pockets? Years later, those dusty green pockets were not so common. Her attention shifted to the lush and vibrant green of maize stalks standing tall. Leaves lifted up to the sky in thanks and adoration. On the farm, Naomi and her husband experienced revival. Food, gardening hoes, and children. But life can be fragile.
She was expecting the last born. The husband went to the fields where he went to pick some vegetables and maize.
He didn't return that day. He was a proud farmer who worked hard to provide for his family. Not only did Naomi lose her husband, but her children lost their father, and the family was left uncertain on how they would survive. Making ends meet would become a battle. Too often in a situation like this, a father's extended family has more influence than his immediate family in managing the belongings left behind.
The relatives, they grabbed everything. They chased her where she was living to go to stay to a new place.
Naomi was devastated, wondering how she could provide for her children, plus one on the way. In comparison to the struggles that she was now facing, Naomi's life had been relatively easy with her husband and children. In all this chaos, she gave birth to her last-born son, Simon. Her husband had a plot of land in Kitabataba, a community on the doorstep of Likazi, a major urban center. Here, she managed to build a small one-room house, though it was never complete.
The roof, it was leaking, no door. It was tough for her to be living with all these children in that room which was not secure. She was vulnerable to have children who was malnourished and having another child, last born, who was a sickly child with no support.
Naomi was just worried about making ends meet. The only place she could plant a garden of her own was so far away, and she would have to leave her children to work it. So she took work where she could get it.
And for her to survive, she has to do piecework where she has to cultivate in other people's field so she can get paid.
Despite her efforts, the money she earns is too little. She could not see the way forward. Naomi began looking for a way out, a way to end the pain and the brokenness. A way to end the relentless weight of responsibility to care for her children, the one she loves most. God led a group of care workers to Naomi's family. They are Christian men and women from the local church who are dedicated to seeking out families like Naomi's, experiencing the love and hope of Christ in their own lives. They want to bring that same love and hope to others. They visited Naomi's home, and they saw the children's distended stomach and yellowish skin tone. Malnourishment. Without the care workers' support, the children in particular Simon, might not survive. Naomi knows now that she's not alone in caring for her children. Simon was given the medical attention that he desperately needed. Although he continued to face health challenges, the care workers are quick to attend to him and to take him to the clinic if needed.
Since the children they're in the program, she really feels strong and having hope because she has seen much improvement.
The local Hands at Work team supported the care workers in fixing Naomi's home. With these simple repairs, the family can lock the door before they go to bed and know the rains will not fall on them in the night. The care workers have also given Naomi a safe place to talk about her challenges.
The care workers, they helped her to find healing because she was going through tough time. Whenever she finds any challenge, she knows that she has to go to the care workers to narrate any challenge she's facing so they can carry the burden together.
In the most vulnerable communities, there is hope that might seem impossible. God has called men and women to bring His hope. Can you see the hope in Naomi's story? God is calling you too. You can be directly involved in Naomi's story. Please pray for Naomi and many other caregivers like her across Africa. Thank you for listening to Naomi's story. Her name and her children's names have been changed for privacy. But God knows who your prayers are for. You've been listening to Illuminate podcast by Hands at Work in Africa. If you haven't already subscribed to the podcast, please find us on Spotify, Apple, or Google Podcasts by searching Meanwhile in Africa. Learn how you can give the gift of hope. Visit www.handsatwork.org/thegiftofhope.